as we said in the past video, Antonio Brown was suspended by the NFL for 3 games. And the Bucs, his Bucs future is up in the air, as Bruce Arians said when they signed Anthony Brown last year, to not be the problem, and if you had one mistake, you were gone. Well, I don't completely agree with that. It's all going to be what Tom Brady says. Obviously, this is not the best situation, so it's all up in the air. But the Bucs have said that they will not do anything about the situation until the suspension is over, which will be around Christmas. The Carolina Panthers decided to fire their offensive coordinator, Joe Brady, as the Panthers' offense was 29th in the league in total offense. It makes sense. Joe Brady was a head coaching candidate last year. Now he's without a job, at least for the remainder of the year. Joey Bosa cleared concussion protocol before the game versus the Cincinnati Bengals, but the Chargers had kept him out as a precautionary measure. It's not like they needed him, as they beat Cincinnati. So it was a good move on the Chargers' part. According to what I've heard, there's going to be strong winds with 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts that could affect the game between the Bills and the New England Patriots, which I think would more affect the Bills than it would affect the Patriots, because the Patriots run the ball a lot better than the Bills do. The Washington football team tight end Logan Thomas tears his ACL. He's done for the year. And speaking about the Washington football team, they get away with a defensive pass interference as the Raiders had a chance to go win the game, as Derek Carr threw a ball right for Zay Jones, and one of the defensive backs of the Washington football team grabbed Zay Jones right in the back, and it was very visible, and the refs didn't throw a flag. It would have given the Raiders a chance to go win the game. So it makes sense for why Cowboys fans are and were irate. Why they were irate, because it makes no sense. The week prior, they get taunted by all these things about you can't interfere with the receiver, when there was only probably 1 or 2 that, yes, you should have called. The other 2 were not, or shouldn't be called, and yet you missed that one so visibly. It's obvious. It's an obvious reason to be frustrated if you're a Cowboys fan or Cowboys players, that the Washington football team get away with that, where the Cowboys couldn't get away with that on Thanksgiving at all. So it makes no sense. So all players want is, and what I've been told and what players have said, all they want is consistency from the referee. If they're going to call it every time, okay. But if they're not going to, it's frustrating. You got to call those penalties every time if something happens. If you don't, the players are expecting that you won't call it. So the NFL players are just saying, referees, be consistent. And the same thing that fans are saying. Just be consistent. Not a very hard formula to follow.